I love seeing the different harps behind you. What is the green one? Is that a different kind of harp?
These are both Celtic style lever harps, but
Okay.
the green one is made by Lion Healy, and this one is made by Kamak. I think I
So
told you.
are they both, when you say that they're Celtic, does that mean they're a certain period of time or a certain type of music that you're supposed to play on those harps or?
Right. Celtic is Irish, Scottish, British Isles.
Uh-huh.
Um, but people play all kinds of music on them, but because they have this curved column, this is
Oh,
curved instead of straight, that's what gives it away that it's a folk harp more than a classical harp.
and does the curve change the sound of the harp or is it just a stylistic thing?
It's just a stylistic thing. I mean, it used to have to do with the way they made it back in the day. I mean, the Celtic, it's the oldest, one of the oldest harps. I mean, it's older than obviously the classical harp, hasn't been around as long.
Uh-huh.
So the Celtic harps, they used to make them out of a single tree, like this whole soundboard. They took a big log and they hollowed it out, and or sometimes it was something. It was a gourd, or in China they used um, some kind of a gourd, and it's an old instrument. It's evolved
Hmm.
over thousands of years. So
So not the whole harp, but the soundboard would be made out
soundboard.
of
Mm-hmm.
one piece.
Yeah.
Wow. I wonder if anybody does that now.
I don't think so unless they have very light tension on it because back then they might have used silk string or horsehair or something for the wire for the strings, and of course that was much less tension, and so um, the single piece of wood was stable enough. But now because we have all these heavy duty strings, you need more structural integrity.
Hmm.
Like they've reinforced this with braces and different angles of wood and some like laminations of wood. Like there's I think maybe 50 laminations all cross
Really?
glued together inside of this neck to keep it to hold up all these strings. There's no metal. It's all wood construction. So
And that's because the strings are super strong. And then when you're playing them, you're playing with more force. And so the curve at the top has to withstand that force. Is that why?
yeah, the curve and the soundboard, is being pulled up. This is being pulled down, and this is being pulled up. There's all these forces created by the strings, like maybe several thousand pounds of tension on a full size harp.
Wow.
Yeah, so they're strong little um,
I just-
instruments. So, yeah.
So, how old were you when you first started playing harp?
I started when I was 10, but I had had 4 years of piano and some guitar before that. So I knew that I really, loved music,
Hmm.
and I could already read music and some things like that. But
How did you pick the harp? I mean, did you know right away that that was your instrument, or did you think it might be something else, or
it was love at first sight. I
was
saw
it?
one. Yeah, I was at a restaurant with the family restaurant, and there was a harpist in another room tuning. She wasn't even playing it; she was just standing there tuning. And I was just enamored, and I wouldn't go back to the table. But
Really?
I refused to eat, which was very unusual for me. I mean,
Oh, how adorable. I wonder if mom and dad remember that. I mean, I guess they must. I mean, they must have been. Did they notice? I mean, they must have, right?
yeah, and to their credit, they,
Oh,
found a teacher for me and supported me through many years of lessons and
yeah.
all of that. So
What restaurant was it?
it was Spindletop, which is,
You remember?
oh yeah, it's the faculty club because we used to, Dad taught at the University of Kentucky. He was um, on the faculty there, obviously. So he taught there, and you could use this faculty club. So we would go almost every weekend, and they had a pool, and they had this lovely, clubhouse where you could have meals. Like we had Effie and Duke's 50th wedding anniversary celebration there,
Mm.
and then they had this amazing just fields to play in. We'd picnic out there and climb on these old rusty cars that were in the middle of the field.
Oh, the good old days.
The good old days.
Good old days. Well, um, it is 8 o'clock. So, so for those who are joining, um, it's just such a great gift, and I'm just so happy to be able to share this with all of you. I mean, I have enjoyed harp music most of my life because I'm the youngest in my family, and so Cathy was already quite well trained by the time I was a young person, and she would play harp, while I was going to sleep. So I remember harp music wafting through our house pretty much all my life. But this training, this specific training to be a therapeutic musician is relatively new. And I just really think it's such a gift, and especially right now, something that is so incredibly valuable for all of us. So I am super excited. I had a very frustrating day trying to accomplish things and failing miserably. So I kept thinking, but tonight I have harp music to help me let go of that. And I think also, like, the way we are doing this is just to not talk about it too much and kind of jump right in and just have the music speak for itself. But I mean, I think if you want to do a little something to prepare for the music, you could maybe stretch a little bit, if you take some deep breaths. Oh, maybe scratch your mouth a little. Um, Maybe just kind of roll your hands. You might have been on the computer a lot today, so maybe we roll our hands a bit, maybe roll our shoulders, taking those deep breaths and releasing. This is going to be our 20 minutes of awesomeness, so let's, settle in for it. Find kind of a place where our body maybe feels balanced. And you don't have to be sitting, for this. You could be lying down or relaxing back in a chair that feels comfortable, or wrapped in a blanket like I was last time. Anything like that feels comfortable, you can just let it flow over you. Um, and the idea is that although Cathy normally plays this for individuals or in person, she will actually go into a facility or go to bedside and play and be really responsive to that person that she's playing for. And obviously, I'm here visible, and all of you are watching us. So our idea is that I'm trying to represent all of you, and Cathy is trying to tune in to everyone. So whether you're watching this while we're doing it live, or if you're coming and watching it later, hopefully all of that is being incorporated into what we're trying to do. That is our intention. That is what we are sending out, this therapeutic music to those of you who are here right now with us and anyone who watches it later. And we hope that it provides healing. So, would you like to add anything to that, Kath? Anything about what you're going to play or what you would like us to keep in mind while we're listening? Uh-oh.
Yeah, I was going to just, can you hear me? Am I, you can hear me?
Yeah, it did freeze for a second, but I think you're good now.
Okay. I was just going to talk a little bit, very briefly, about what I'm going to play because I thought tonight that I would focus on um, the fact that this is the evening and it's a time to sort of um, slow down and get ready to go to sleep. And there may even be some children listening, and so I have a couple of lullabies. I'm starting out with a piece called Loonlight, and it's sort of a takeoff on um, Claire de Lune,
Oh, cool.
simplified and just simple. But I thought, just thinking about the fact that we've had another day, beautiful day, go by, and now the moon is coming out, and it's time that we can reset and rejuvenate and just rest. So I'm going to try and take you there with my set tonight.
That sounds awesome. Thank you so much.
These are pieces, again, mostly, actually all of them tonight are from an Angie Bemis collection called Music of Friends.
Awesome. And I can also post that down below just so that we make sure that she gets credit too for this beautiful music that she's written, this therapeutic music. So,
Yes, she's compiled the collection from a
okay.
lot of other harpists. She wrote a few of them, most of them are arranged by her, and then put in this wonderful collections for us so that we have a body of music to work with when we go into hospitals or hospice or any therapeutic setting.
Mhm.
All right, here we go. How do you feel?
Oh my goodness, that was amazing.
Thank you. It was so much fun. Thank you for giving me this opportunity and encouraging me to do this and bringing your friends so that I can bring my friends and maybe they'll all become friends and
Yeah, when I'm listening to it, I want everybody to come. I'm like, oh, I keep thinking of people. I'm like, oh, I should have told this person and that person.
I know. I'm thinking of
Everybody
people
is
too and hoping that even if they're not here, maybe they're still getting some of this, you
yes,
know.
that was my hope. I kept trying to bring my friends to mind, and just, if they even weren't here right now, that hopefully, yeah, that they feel it, you know. And I'm sure they did. I believe in that.
Surely I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, we had talked earlier about the music, and you were saying that you had played this music before. Is that right? Because I didn't remember this music, so
A few of them.
new to me.
Of them. And I think maybe you might have heard one or two at the memorial service that
Oh,
too.
okay.
So
But not during this
not
therapy.
this series. Yeah.
Well, and I kept trying to bring to mind the moon as well. Like it did feel very, you know, like that moonlight dancing kind of feeling in so many of the songs, and the lullaby.
That's why you said dancing because the last one is called Let It Be a Dance.
Ah, oh,
So
must have felt it.
you felt it.
Thank you all so much for joining. We really appreciate you being here. And if you subscribe to this channel, this YouTube channel, you'll get a notice and a reminder for future ones. And of course, if you want to comment or send an email or anything, we'd love to hear from you, whether you watched live or if you watched the recording. So we're happy that you're here. And we'll be here on next Monday night and the Monday after that. All of the Mondays in May will be here at 8
Two more.
p.m. Yeah, two more. So, yeah, thank you so much and have a good night, everybody.
Good night. Good night, Moon.